finally going to be learning about Pluto and why Pluto is no longer a planet in our solar system. Dun dun dun! And what it is considered now. Now, when I was younger, I was in school and learned that there were 9 planets in our solar system, and Pluto was the 9th planet in our solar system. But since then, there had been a change in the rules of what makes a planet a planet. And unfortunately, Pluto does not fit all 3 of the things that a planet needs in order to be considered a planet. And so today we're going to learn about the 3 criteria that every planet has to have in order to be a planet and what Pluto is considered now. For us today, we're going to be watching our space school video about Pluto. And as we're watching it, we are going to be filling out what Pluto is, what Pluto can do, and what Pluto has. And then in your Seesaw account, you are going to go in and you are going to fill in why Pluto is no longer considered a planet, and you're going to answer a few questions about it. I've also uploaded a Storybox video as well for Pluto in there for you guys. So we're going to take a look at our video. Oh, that's not our video. This is our video. Too many YouTubes up. All right, so here we go, first grade. So far away.
Pluto, 3.7 billion miles from the sun, just half the size of our moon. A frigid world with temperatures nearly 400 degrees Fahrenheit below zero.
Whoa, I already heard a lot of things. So, I know that I just heard Pluto has very cold temperatures. And it is half the size of our moon. That's super small. If you think our moon is not that big compared to other moons, and then Pluto is even smaller than that. Oh my goodness. All right, let's keep listening.
It was once called our 9th planet, but no more. It's been demoted. Welcome to Space School. Today's topic, Pluto, was discovered in 1930, the only planet in our solar system to be found in the 20th century. It is also the only celestial body ever to lose planet status. In 2006, Pluto, named for the Roman god of the underworld, was reclassified as a dwarf planet and given a number.
So, instead of it being a planet, it is now called a dwarf planet. So we'll put that on here, dwarf planet. And dwarf means small. And so you can understand why to be called that, because it is much smaller than all of the other planets.
134-340. The discovery of the 9th planet captured the imagination of a world caught in the grips of the Great Depression. Finding a new world in space renewed our own world's faith in science. Its name was suggested by an 11-year-old girl from Oxford, England. She liked the fact that the first 2 letters of Pluto were the initials of its discoverer, Percy Lowell. Before long, even superstar Mickey Mouse had named his dog after the new planet. But by the 21st century, astronomers had come to the realization that the outer solar system holds many similar objects to Pluto, some even larger. With discovery after discovery of new heavenly bodies, the International Astronomical Union, for the first time ever, set out to define the word planet, and Pluto didn't make the cut. They decided a planet must orbit the sun, have gravity strong enough to keep itself in a spherical shape, and must have cleared other objects from its orbital neighborhood.
Okay, so let's pause and let's think about all the 3 characteristics that a planet must have. So first, a planet must go orbit around the sun in a clear path.
Sun, have gravity strong enough to keep itself in a spherical shape.
And then it has to have gravity that's strong enough so the planet is a sphere, so the shape of a ball. So it can't be like, it can't have corners or bent or dented in any way. It has to be a whole sphere. And as you can see here, Pluto doesn't look like it meets that criteria.
Shape, and must have cleared other objects from its orbital neighborhood.
And what that means is that its gravity has to be strong enough that it keeps other objects away from it. And so if you think about how Earth, our gravity holds our moon in place and it does not come closer to us, but Pluto's unable to do that.
Making it the most dominant body in its immediate area. On the 3rd count, Pluto fails. Pluto orbits the Sun along the inner edge of the Kuiper Belt, a field of icy meteor-like objects located at the outer rim of our planetary system. Only discovered in 1992, astronomers have since confirmed the existence of at least 1,000 Kuiper Belt objects. Pluto, the ex-planet, is neither alone nor unique. Eris, a dwarf planet, is more than 25% larger than Pluto. At nearly 4 billion miles from the Sun, almost 40 times further than Earth, Pluto is a difficult body to study, but scientists have been able to deduce that it's comprised mostly of rock and ice.
Interesting. So even though it's way out in the outer solar system, it is not a gas giant. It actually has rock, a rocky surface. That's interesting. And ice, right? And we said that Pluto can orbit the Sun. Let's go on.
The surface is composed almost entirely of frozen methane, nitrogen, and carbon monoxide. Images from the Hubble Space Telescope show few markings or distinct features on the landscape. Because its gravity is so weak, Pluto's atmosphere is highly unstable.
Okay, and so it has a weak atmosphere.
Gases do not cling to the surface, hence there's almost no greenhouse effect, making this one of the coldest known places in the solar system. The average temperature is about negative 380 degrees Fahrenheit, and given its distance from Earth, little is known about the climate of this tiny world. A 160-pound man would weigh only 10.7 pounds on Pluto. A year on Pluto, one orbit around the Sun, takes 248 Earth years. And despite its small size, a day lasts almost 6.5 Earth days.
So it orbits slowly and spins slowly. So it can orbit slowly and spin slowly. So that's, well, orbiting slowly is very similar to our other gas giants in the outer solar system, but it takes a really long time for it to go on its axis, unlike the other gas giants that spin pretty quickly.
Oddly, as it travels on its 23 billion mile journey, Pluto twice crosses the orbit of the planet Neptune. That means about once a century, Pluto is closer to the Sun than Neptune. For decades, astronomers have known of the moon Charon. Charon and Pluto are so close in size they are now often dubbed twin dwarf planets. 2 additional moons, Nix and Hydra, were discovered in 2005. These new moons are much smaller than Charon and orbit much further from the planet. To date, no spacecraft from Earth has ever reached this distant and tiny world, but that is about to change. In 2006, the New Horizons mission was launched. It's scheduled to reach the icy dwarf planet within 10 to 12 years. What will it find at the furthest reaches of our planetary system? There's no doubt that Pluto and its unexplored neighborhood still have many surprises in store. This is Space School, signing off. Class dismissed.
So we just learned a lot about the dwarf planet Pluto. We learned that it is no longer a planet because it's unable to clear other objects from its orbit. And so it can be hit by other objects, or other objects can get really close to it. We learned that Pluto is half the size of our own moon. It orbits the Sun, and it orbits the Sun slowly, but it also spins slowly for day and night. We know that Pluto has very cold temperatures, a rocky surface and ice, and it has a very weak atmosphere, which does not trap in any heat. So it gets very, very cold, one of the coldest places in the solar system. So in your Seesaw account, you're going to continue to learn about Pluto and share some facts that you learned about Pluto. And there is a link to another resource in there for you guys to look at as well. And then we're going to continue learning about dwarf planets as we continue with our investigation of the solar system. So I will see everybody later. Have a great day, first grade.